Hello, good morning, everybody. I would like to welcome Pak Safari and Bu Vera to join us on the stage, please. Ibu Michelle, I think, is on the way and will be joining us with us. Oh, all right. Okay. Please welcome Ibu Michelle. Okay. Before we start with our conversation, maybe I can give us some minutes for every panelist to tell about yourself. Start with Bu Vera.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm from BCA. My core competency is right now is developing the product, especially for internet and mobile. So I have daily tasks to think about something new for BCA, especially like BCA mobile, then click BCA, related everything about internet and also mobile.
Ibu Michelle.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Michelle. I'm from Pink and Proper. So we are actually used to be like the Malaysian online swimwear before, but then we launched the brand in Indonesia last year. So for now, we are looking into expanding more and more in Indonesia. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Safari. I'm from Bank Indonesia FinTech office. It's just from like 2 months ago. Now we are preparing a regulatory sandbox for new innovative payments.
All right, thank you. Again, we can sit down over here so we can start the discussion. So we're going to talk about the payment and especially related with e-commerce. And I have once have the opportunity to stay abroad in the developed countries. And while I was there, it is very easy to do e-commerce transaction because all you need is a debit card or credit card, nothing else. But in Indonesia, the penetration of a credit card is, I think, less than 4% of the population. It's less than 10 million, I think. Maybe Pak Safari can add for this. So for e-commerce itself, so maybe I can start with Bu Michelle. Tell us about your the payment that you currently support. I mean, like, what happens here in Indonesia, and then why Indonesian customers require the e-commerce company to support a lot of payment methods, and then tell us the top 3 methods that being used by your customers.
I will start with the last question. So actually, we are supporting like the most popular payment method that we currently use is bank transfer, internet banking, and also cash on delivery. And I think the reason that like e-commerce companies in Indonesia needs to support many different kinds of payment is because firstly, like some customers who actually reside not really in the big cities, like in rural areas, they actually they are not very familiar with like digital payments for now. So we can actually also collaborate with companies such as Doku, because Doku actually can allow the customers to pay their online orders through convenience store, such as like Alfamart, let's say.
Do you support the Alfamart payment also?
Yes. And then secondly, cash on delivery is also very important because some older generation actually when they order something online, they might be doubtful whether it will be delivered to them or not. So when we actually provide like cash on delivery, they would be more willing to spend online.
How's the percentage of COD for your e-commerce?
COD is around 20 to 22%. Yeah, bank transfer is like the majority, like over 75. And then internet banking is like the remaining percentage of those two.
Yeah. Okay, great. Next to Ibu Vera, as a payment player, so what type of digital payment that you support right now? And then how do you see the importance of the digital e-money like Sakuku as an alternative for the digital payment?
Yeah, I think right now customers still used to using the online transfer like BCA ClickPay or also Sakuku. Like Ibu Michelle said that Indonesia is still using cash for many transactions. That's why COD is still big payment method here. But we try to educate our customer to use our many option of payment, make them convenient. Once of them we make it sakuku, because we hoping that sakuku especially we made it for the younger customer. Maybe they used to, and maybe their daily activities is one of them is doing the e-commerce transactions when they doing the shopping. So using Sakuku, customer and the younger customer do not need to apply the account, but they just need to download the application and instantly they have like a electronic money to do one of them is to do the e-commerce payments.
Do you have any data that you would like to share about Sakuku? I mean, like the demographic or the age range or whatever it is?
Most of the Sakuku users is around 16 to 25. Most of them is Y generations.
And don't have credit card.
They do not need to have credit card, and then especially they do not need also to have the bank account. They just need to download the application and instantly have the electronic money as Sakuku and can use that to doing the e-commerce transactions.
Okay, Pak Safari from regulator side. I mean, like, sorry. How do you see the payment industry here in Indonesia? Is it already fully regulated, or are you going to like announce another regulation in regards to digital payment here in Indonesia?
Thank you, Pak Amir. Before discussing about regulation, maybe I just want to add just a little few about data.
Sure.
Indonesia is very unique in terms of we are kind of old-fashioned. So just want to add from Mizel and Mbak Vera that actually less than 10% of all transaction is done by non-cash. So over 90% is by cash, banknotes and coins. So we are kind of life a little bit behind. That's why
In terms of global payment.
global in
Okay.
Indonesia, and
Sorry. Yeah,
national
payment,
data,
sorry.
and from less than 10% that actually most of them done by card payments, which is in Indonesia the most preferred is ATM and debit. So to give you a little bit overview that the yearly transaction is, the value is around approximately like 5,000 trillion per year. Can you imagine that if we compare to e-money, for instance, year transaction is like less than 1 trillion. So we are working toward less cash transaction. That's why we form Bank Indonesia FinTech Office, and we try to engage more and more to the newcomers. I'm sorry for the incumbents, but we're trying to encourage the innovation in Indonesia. So we change the approach and we change the like from before it's like regulatory approach, and now it's like more engagement, and we ask the market what is your need actually and how to encourage people to use non-cash more and more. In terms of regulation, we just enacted Bank Indonesia regulation on payment transaction processing. It's actually like umbrella regulation to regulate all the payment activity in Indonesia. Although outside that regulation, there are actually a lot of opportunity that we are now trying to nurture and groom under the Bank Indonesia FinTech Office.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Bu Vera. BCA also has ClickPay as a digital bridging, so I can use my own bank account to pay for digital transaction, right? So tell us about ClickPay upgrade. What do you think about their adoption so far?
ClickPay we started around 5 years ago, but right now it's still growing. But we need also to still need to educate our customer, because for the BCA ClickPay itself, because our customer is Indonesian basis, I think they still used to use cash to do the transaction. So it's our job to how to introduce ClickPay is one of the payment method. Because using the BCA ClickPay similar with we use PayPal. Just they need to doing one-time registration, and then after that they can do the transaction using the bank account and also the credit card. And so they can doing instantly after they shopping at the website, and also choose the BCA ClickPay method of payment, and instantly is end of the transaction. Different with cash of delivery. They just book at the website, and then they need to pay cash when the merchant deliver the items. But even that's a practical way to pay, we need to educate our customer, because they must change their habit, maybe because of issue of the trust, maybe because they used to doing the transaction using cash.
Thank you. Pak Safari, e-money is one hot topic right now. I mean, like, it's been a while since BI to launch new license for e-money. So, what do you think about e-money as bridging from cash society to cashless society here in Indonesia?
We have a lot of instruments. One of them is e-money, and we have to admit that e-money is very specific. So it's used only for micro payments. Most of them in Indonesia flourishes like card-based payment, server-based payment. So we have two e-money basically, card-based and server-based. And in Indonesia now is the majority of e-money is card-based instruments. So, but if we compare the data of e-money compared to, let's say, like card-based transaction, this is very small. But we have to understand, because the nature of e-money is only for micro payments. So if I could say, although the growth is pretty significant, like the number of e-money in the market is like last year is around 34 million, and this year is nearly 50 million. So it's quite significant, but the value of the transaction is pretty low. Like last year is like around 400 billion per year, and now it's like more than 800 billion. So we are now working toward, actually if you ask about the licensing, whether we are now like freezing or, like trying to stop, the new comer on e-money, it's actually not true. But now we are working toward the standardization of card-based payment e-money. So because we have a lot of e-money on the market, I'm talking about the card-based payment, and we are trying to make them talk each other and make like them compatible each other, because we don't want what happened with the credit and debit card. Like we saw a lot of ADC on the point of sale. It's really inefficient. So because we are a regulator, and now we are trying to make that not happen in terms of e-money. So we combine the standard of the e-money card based on the market, while in the meantime, until we reach the standardization, then we must like hold the new licensing for e-money card based payment. So that's actually what happened.
Okay, Ibu Michelle, I mean, like, from your player side, what do you think about the digital payment industry here in Indonesia? I mean, like, how tech savvy actually Indonesian customer is?
I think the digital payment in Indonesia will continually grow towards a promising future, because I think more and more of us, let's say we have adapted the usage of e-toll, which is one of the product from Mandiri Bank. And I think as long as we educate the people, and then we teach them how to do it, and we also tell them what are the advantages of using e-money, I'm pretty sure that like more and more of consumers in Indonesia will be very familiar with digital payment in the near future, hopefully. And
how tech savvy
how tech savvy, I would say like people in Jakarta, yeah, especially like in major cities and big cities such as Medan, Surabaya as well. I think these three major cities, they are more technologically savvy than those in the like remote areas, or like, let's say like people in Makassar. When we do like exhibition over there, like people, they do not really feel comfortable to like register their account and then to do digital payment. They would rather like pay in cash and get the goods straight away. Yeah.
Wait. All right. So I think, is there any question from the floor before I continue with the last questions? All right.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
My name Andy. I'm from Appear, AI company, artificial intelligence. So
I'm
what-
sorry, sir.
From
I can't hear
Appear.
it from you.
From
here?
Appear, it's AI company, artificial intelligence. So what I would like to ask for this this session, that I found out that any fintech business model nowadays more happening in the market, especially in digital, compared to credit card business model. So my question is, do you think that number of consumer for fintech business models such as like peer-to-peer lending, e-money, etc., will surpass number of credit card holder? Is it clear?
So,
Thank.
is it the question is whether the customers from the fintech
Yeah.
is going to surpass the
The number of
from,
credit card holders,
Alright.
because I have seen that nowadays, even in the market and even like the way they spend the budget to promote the e-money,
Alright.
any particular brand of the banking more spend to promote the e-money rather than the credit card holder. So I
Okay.
assume that credit card holder will be like start not really
Alright.
growing rapidly compared to fintech business models. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, sir. Pak Safari, maybe you can add.
Thank you. Very nice question. In my personal opinion, it could be, because if you compare with only credit cards, the potential of fintech is huge, because now credit card is very pretty stagnant. Like last year's, I have to say like around 16, 17 million in terms of the holders, and now it's only around 17 to 18 millions. And the potential of fintech is enormous, because we could see from, we have secondary data, like the transaction involving fintech players last year is around 12 billion US dollar. 12 billion US dollar, and this year is around 15 billion. And 99% of the transaction is actually in a payment system area. So in a short words, fintech has a really big potential.
All right. Thank you. Is it clear? Okay.
But if I may add once, if we compare to other card payments like debit card is still far away, because now it's like debit card is like the king in Indonesia.
Okay. I think I'm going to ask the last question for the sessions. Maybe we can start from Bu Vera. In 2017, what's innovation that BCA will focus on, especially in digital payment?
I think payment is still our focus to serve our customer with many options of payments, but it must be convenient. It's also secure for them. But maybe in the future, like we know that the technology going to mobile, maybe we will more focusing on mobile and also e-commerce. One of them is e-commerce payment in mobile. I think we are still focusing on that way. Maybe not just us, but any banks, maybe any fintech company also, because we know that the technology is going to mobile.
Thank you. Ibu Michelle, what's your prediction about customer adoption for digital payment here this year? What kind of digital payment that going to be growing faster than to replace the bank transfer or COD?
I think probably the usage of e-money. Yeah, because there are several reasons that make e-money is very convenient for all of us. Like due to this time saving as well, we don't really need to like go to nearby ATMs, let's say, to withdraw cash. And it's also much safer and more simple as well for our life. We can just easily touch or like swipe the card. And also like we can actually like adjust it in accordance to our time. Like whenever it's convenient for us, we can easily top it up.
Okay, for Pak Safari, what's your focus in 2017 in terms of digital payment?
The central bank is actually has a lot of tasks, and I'm just part of it. So we are in Bank Indonesia FinTech office. We only focus on how to encourage, how to groom, how to provide good environment for new innovative payments to grow. So it's just one tiny part of a whole central bank task. So now we are focusing on how to develop that, and in the near future we will launch a regulatory sandbox. It's like a platform where the market players could test their innovative product or services or technology or business model in a real environment with restricted or restriction or limitation. So we're gonna monitor, we're gonna assess, we're gonna review together, and then once it's ready, and then it's possible to launch into the
It's
market.
going to be launched this year, the regulatory sandbox?
Hopefully in the first semester.
Great. Thank you. I think that's a wrap for our discussion today. A big applause for the panelists over here. And thank you very much for the...
Thank you very much. Moderator Bapak Amir Karimudin, Editor-in-Chief from Daily Social, with panelists Dr. Safari Kasianto, Deputy Team Head from Central Bank Indonesia FinTech Office, Ibu Vera Agustina, Vice President from BCA, and Ibu Michelle, Brand Director from Pink and Proper.